quorum of all 7, and audio and video recorders in use. There is no unfinished business. New business, election of officers. We're going to go right down the list, so we'll start with the president. Any nominations or anybody throwing their name in the hat for the presidency?
I make a motion or I'd like to nominate Mark Miller for president.
I'll accept the nomination.
Any other nominations?
Yeah, I'd like to nominate Bill Teal.
I'll accept the nomination.
Any other nominations? Okay, roll call vote for Mark Miller. Darrell?
Aye.
Or do I want to say Bill or Darrell? Mark Miller.
Yeah, aye.
Okay, one for Mark.
Mark, aye. I'll vote for me.
Nay?
Nay.
Nay.
I vote for Mark. Okay. Mark has 4 votes.
All right.
Let's hope we can make it on time. Go ahead, Mark.
All right, next up is vice president. Do we have any nominations for vice president?
I'd like to nominate our new board member, Mike, for vice president.
Mike, do you accept the nomination?
Yeah.
Okay. Any other nominations for vice president? All right, let's call the vote. All in favor of Mike Matthews as vice president, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? Mike, congratulations, you're our new vice president. And just so you know, the role of vice president, if the president is unable to do his duties, then you would step in, run meetings, and attend any functions on behalf of the board. All right, next up is secretary treasurer, and we have the option of having that be one person, or we can split that into 2 different positions. Does anyone have a preference one way or another how we handle that?
So I don't have a preference, but I'd like to ask Bill, is it a 2-person job in your mind?
No, it's not. In my personal opinion, I don't think you should split it.
Okay, I'll stick with that. That'd be my opinion.
I'm going to say I'd like to see someone else as treasurer, and I'd like to nominate Darrell Lynchard as treasurer.
And are you saying not secretary, so make it 2 positions?
Make it 2 positions.
Okay.
Can we take a vote on splitting it first?
Okay. I'll do it as secretary treasurer or as treasurer.
So what did he,
Do we
Darrell's
need to do a vote on
Splitting it.
splitting the position?
Yes.
I make a motion that we split the position into two people. Have a secretary and a treasurer. The treasurer is over finance, the secretary does the duties of the secretary. Memberships,
understand?
minutes.
I'll second it.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Nays or abstentions?
Nays.
Nay.
Nay.
Mike?
We're splitting it?
Yeah.
This is the vote to whether or not to split the position into two people.
Say aye.
Aye, okay, we're gonna split the position. Nomination was for Darrell as treasurer.
I'll make a nomination, Joe Campbell, serve as treasurer.
Any other nominations for treasurer? All right, let's go down the road. Darrell, what's your vote?
I vote for me.
Mike?
I'm David, but I'll vote for Joe.
All right, I'm gonna vote for Darrell.
I'll vote for myself.
I vote for Joe.
Mike?
Darrell.
Okay, so that's 4-3. Joe is our treasurer. And secretary, do we have nominations for secretary? If not, I'll nominate Bill Thiel as secretary. Do you accept the nomination?
Yes.
Yes. Any other nominations for secretary? All right, all in favor of Bill Thiel as secretary, say aye.
Aye.
Nays or abstentions?
I'll
Motion
abstain.
carries. Well, you can vote for yourself. You don't have to abstain.
I don't have to, though.
That's true. Okay, Fairpoint Board Representatives, for the benefit of new members, Fairpoint is the entity that has Holly Navarre Water System, Gulf Breeze, and Midway as members of Fairpoint. We are allowed 2 representatives on that board for Fairpoint. It's currently Daryl Lynchard and myself. First of all, Daryl, are you interested in continuing as a Fairpoint?
Sure, unless somebody else wants to do it.
Okay. I would be kind of the same opinion. If someone else wants to do it, I'd be okay letting someone else.
Is it beneficial to have the president of this board be on that board?
Not
Does
necessarily.
it make any,
Yeah,
somebody
we-
said that to me in the past. That's why.
We've had it before, and there've been times when we haven't had it. But I'd like to nominate Mike Matthews as the Fairpoint representative in place of myself. Mike, would you be willing to do that?
I would.
Okay. Then I'll take myself out of nomination. So anyone else that would want to be a Fairpoint representative?
I wouldn't mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Mike, David,
David?
and
He just
Daryl,
said
are
he
you
would.
still?
No, if they want to do it, they can.
Okay.
Does that mean they're going tomorrow at 3:30 to the Fairpoint? And you guys gonna? Well, no, seriously.
It's a good question.
Yeah, can do. Could they go as observers? Because I think you guys are gonna have to vote on something.
Yeah.
Can we make,
We can make it effective next month if you want.
don't you think?
February
There's gonna
meeting,
something you're
yeah, I
gonna need to
agree.
vote on.
I agree. They need
But-
time to get up to speed on
But I
that.
think if they attend,
Yep.
Yeah,
I'll
that'll work.
attend.
okay.
Okay.
I'm okay with that. All right, so all in favor of David Crumbly and Mike Matthews being our Fairpoint representatives, beginning with our February meeting, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Nays or abstentions? Motion carries. Okay. Messy Board representative.
Before we go to the messy boards, I'd like to make a motion to amend both the messy and the Hidden Creek representatives to remove the CEO and replace with 3 board. You remember that the CEO was put in there at the behest of the CEO at the time. And I just think it's more prudent that we have 3 board members and the CEO be a non-voting extemporaneous, whatever they call that.
So the CEO. would
Currently,
not
as
be-
those directors both stand, both the operating agreement and the E.
Can you split that motion?
You want me to do it just for the messy first and then? the
Messy
Hidden
and the club at Hidden Creek, because there's a different set of circumstances for Messy than there is for the club at Hidden Creek. I think we only have 1 board member on the Messy board, is that correct?
Right, so my motion is to actually remove the CEO and make sure that there's 3 directors on the messy board, just like 3 directors on the Hidden Creek board.
Well, but we would only have, if we remove the CEO from Messy,
My motion is to amend the agreement like we did at the board meeting about the budget to include 3 board members, removing the CEO as a voting member of that messy board. That's my motion.
is there a second to his motion?
That would mean that there would be 4 messy board members, not an active member.
The only.
I'll second it for discussion.
Okay.
Get that out of the way.
Okay.
We have a motion and a second, we're in discussion.
Okay, the only thing I say is if you have the CEO, the way his job description is written, at least the way I read it, he is still responsible for both the club at Hidden Creek and Messy for the operations of that. So I'm not sure it is eminently fair to him not to be able to have a board controlling, or he has a board controlling over him in the big board, but they have the operating agreement people in charge of it, and I don't think that's necessarily good thing. But
It would be the same as what he does for Holly Navarre Water System.
oh, that's true. That would have not
No, I don't think that
No, it wouldn't be.
makes it
Not
true.
in
Not if
regards to
he's-
the golf course.
Not if he's taken out of the role of being responsible for it. He's responsible for the water system. I mean, he does the day-to-day operations. These management boards are doing the day-to-day operations, and then nothing that happens with Messi or the golf course would be under him. So, and what am I misunderstanding?
No, the job description is the same for, he's the day-to-day for all three of those functions. I'm just saying that the board representation should be 3 directives with the CEO as a non-voting member.
I'm going to be opposed to having 3 board members on there. I wouldn't necessarily be opposed to having 2 board members being on there along with Phil, but I don't think.
Okay, I'll amend my motion to 2 board members. That gives us an odd number. So 2 directors versus the CEO. CEO is a non-voting,
So,
just like the secretary of Messi is a non-voting member.
so what's the motion now?
To remove the CEO as a voting member of the board and
For both?
replace it.
Of Messi.
Just talking Messi.
We're talking Messi, Mark, wanted to split.
Okay.
I can't get my head around in being fair. I don't like the CEO being taken out of the loop. Just, so it'll be 6-1.
Well,
Go forward.
someone would have to second Joe's amended motion,
Somebody
I'll
different. He did
second
for
his
discussion.
but
Motion.
he didn't second the amended motion.
Anybody got that?
I'll second the amended motion.
For discussion? Okay. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
What, can we read the motion again?
Yeah.
The motion is to remove the CEO from the,
As a voting member.
as a voting member of Messi, and have 2 board members along with Phil on there.
Okay.
I think I'm still opposed to it. but- Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Nay?
I'm going to abstain.
Abstain?
Yeah.
Darrell,
I
you,
don't have enough information.
you're a nay? Bill?
No.
Don? I mean, Mike? Sorry, you couldn't see you.
Yeah, I have to abstain on that.
Abstain, okay. Don? No?
I'm still no.
Okay.
I just
Motion fails.
can't get around it.
Can't, yeah.
Okay. Love it, Hidden Creek?
You said to wait, so let's do the Messi board. And I nominated Dave Crumbly to be on the Messi board representative.
I'll accept the nomination.
I second it.
You second what?
Dave Crumley to be on the Messi board.
Oh, I didn't know we had the second
David,
nomination.
you accept that nomination?
I do accept it, yeah.
Okay.
Because I would like to see Joe on the Messi board.
Okay.
Too late, you voted against me. David accepted.
No.
Well, he accepted, we got to vote on it. Does anybody else want to be the Messi board representative? All right, all in favor, say aye for David being the Messi board representative.
Aye.
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 Any nays or abstentions? David, you're our new Messi representative. Put that in the wrong spot. All right, next up is the club at Hidden Creek Board Representatives. Joe, do you have a motion?
Yeah, my motion is to remove the CEO on that board and replace it with a 3rd board member for the board of managers for the club at Hidden Creek.
I'll second that for discussion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. We're in discussion. What's your justification on that?
Same as before. Just want you guys to vote me down again.
I'm kind of still leaning toward the CEO needs to be a member of that board.
I believe the CEO does as well.
Okay.
I didn't hear what you said.
No,
He said he believes
there's no
the
second.
CEO needs to be a member of that board as well.
I'm confused because you complained that Mr. Peavy gave himself too much power and now you're backing out, so it is what it is. Call the vote.
No further discussion? All in favor of the motion to have 3 board members on the governing board of Hidden Creek and remove the CEO, say aye.
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 All opposed?
Aye.
Nay?
Nah. So it passed.
So it passed.
Was that an aye or a nay?
It sounded like it passed.
What? I voted against.
Okay, Daryl?
Nay.
Nay. David?
Aye.
Aye. I'm a nay.
Aye.
Aye. Bill?
Abstain.
I was an aye.
And I'm a no. So
Doesn't
now we need to
pass.
break the tie.
3-3, motion fails.
So I'll make a motion that Don Linnell and Mike Matthews be on the operating agreement board of managers for the Club of Hidden Creek.
I'd like to be on the board of Club at Hidden Creek as well. So I think we need to change the members up.
one more year.
Mike, you accept the
How many positions are available?
2.
Just two.
And Daryl, you want it on?
Yeah, but I think you should be on too as well. I think we need new board members on that, as managers of the Club at Hidden Creek.
I mean, I will, I just,
I'm-
yeah.
You can have 3 people run.
Unless someone else wants to do it.
Yep, I would like a new person on there.
As would I. I don't know.
So you don't want to be on the board?
Nope.
Okay.
No, that's not what I meant to say. I like the idea of either Mike or David being on it. I do like to be on there. I would like to be on there one more year also.
I'll do it. Dave, you're doing messy, so I'll do that. It's fine with me. I'm trying to split it up a little bit, you know, and they're trying to get us in here, but, so. It's all good. I'll do it.
So you got 3 names?
We've got 3 names and 2 positions, so I think because there's 2 positions, why don't we
Vote for each name.
vote for each name, or do we want to just say, you know, I want this person to a straw count? There's 2 positions, you know, if it was an election, you'd get 2 votes, and then the 3, I mean, the 2 people with the most
Maybe
votes.
a ballot, take a secret ballot, or take
That doesn't
a...
need to be a secret
No, it
ballot.
doesn't.
You just get 2 votes, you get,
I like-
every director
Okay.
gets 2 votes, and I'll do a straw count. Is that
Okay.
okay?
Yeah, I'm good with it.
All right, Daryl, which 2 are you want?
Me and Mike.
Okay,
Mike and Daryl for me.
Mike and Daryl. I'm gonna go with Mike and Daryl as well. Joe?
Mike and Don?
Mike and Don.
Myself and Daryl.
Done.
Don? Who were your 2?
That's 4. That's 4 for Daryl and Mike. if
I know, I was
can
just
count.
gonna count your
Oh,
vote for the
I'd
record.
go Mike and me.
Okay, with 7 votes, Mike, and 4 votes, Daryl, or Mike and Daryl are our 2 Club at Hen Creek Board representatives. Pension 401K, current trustee is Bill Thiel. Anyone else interested in serving in that position? Or first of all, Bill, are you interested in continuing in that position?
I would continue in that position.
Okay. Anyone else interested in being on the pension 401K trustee?
Typically have 2.
What's that?
We have had 2 until Mike Kennedy resigns. so-
Okay, so we need that's right, we need a second
Yeah.
person.
I nominate Don Linnell for the second one.
I'll do that.
So we have Bill and
If-
Don.
if-
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do that if y'all agree.
Anyone else interested in
Finish
serving on
that
the
sentence.
pension 401K board? All right, all in favor of Bill Thiel and Don being our pension and 401K trustees, say aye.
Aye.
Any nays or abstentions? Motion carries. All right, committee chairs. Current committees that we have Bill Thiel, who's chair of the Eglin Project.
No.
No?
What?
No.
Nope. That's not right.
He was the,
I was the finance committee.
He's finance committee chair, that's right. Bill is finance committee chair. Eglin Project is Joe Campbell. Capital improvements, Don Linnell. Budget, OEM, Daryl Lynchard. First of all, let's talk about our finance committee chair. Bill, are you interested in continuing as that?
Well, I would, but I'm afraid I think it should be the treasurer.
I'd like to do it.
What's the difference between the finance and the budget?
The Finance Committee Chair coordinates all of the different
Committees.
financial committees. That's my understanding of it.
But I'm still willing to do it if that's the decision of the board.
It doesn't have to be the
Yeah, I think
treasurer.
probably should be the secretary.
I guess you're right. I guess O&B budget ought to be the treasurer for sure.
All right, anyone else interested in being the finance chair? All right, all in favor of Bill Thiel continuing as finance chair, say aye.
Aye.
Any nays or abstentions? Motion carries. Eglin Project, currently Joe Campbell. Joe, do you want to continue as that?
I wouldn't mind, however, because of the sunshine laws, when we start dealing with the county, I feel it should be the president as a spokesman for the board.
I would like to be the head of that committee.
Well, if it's not gonna be the president, then I would like to be considered for continuation, but again, speaking for the board, the reason I was is the president, and I feel that the president should, as you're the spokesman, you're gonna be dealing with the county commissioners in the sunshine law, because there can only be one, if you remember.
Right.
I would agree with that stance, that should be our president.
That's what I,
So I'll nominate Mark Miller as the president to be the Eglin Project
I'll
chair.
second that.
Darrell, do you still want to be
Yes,
considered for that?
yes, I would like to be considered for it. I've been working for the thing and getting, since it started.
All right, any other nominations for that position? Nominations closed. Just go down the row and,
Yep.
and say who, whether it's Mark or Darrell. Darrell?
Me.
Okay.
Vote for Mark.
All right, I'm going to vote for Darrell.
Mark,
Mark,
it's a leadership position.
Daryl.
Mark.
All right, that
Be
means
president,
I'm
but you don't want to
the
lose man.
chair of the Eglin Project. Capital improvements.
what did it turn out? You were,
Mark, right?
Yes.
you were, huh?
Yeah. Capital improvements, Don Linnell is currently over capital improvements. Don, are you interested in continuing in that?
Yeah, I can continue with that.
Okay, any other board
Pretty
members
low level.
interested in being over capital improvements? Hearing none, all in favor of Don Linnell continuing as the capital improvements chair, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Nays or abstentions? Motion carries. Budget OEM, currently Darrell Lynchard. Darrell, are you interested in
Yes,
continuing in that?
I'd like to continue that.
Okay. Anyone else interested in being over budget OEM committee?
Treasurer.
Yeah,
No, never mind.
I mean, I'm willing to take it on as the secretary. I've been involved in the last couple of years, so.
No, I was saying as treasurer, is that a position that's inherently the treasurer budget on it?
Oh,
That's my
that's the way it's been.
Well, since I was it last year.
So that would be Joe.
You were it when Mike for about 2 months, but I'd consider being the budget on it.
All right, so we
Okay,
have
yeah.
Joe and Darrell. Any other nominations for the budget OEM chair? Okay, let's go down the road. Darrell?
That's me.
Yep. David?
Darrell.
All right, I'm gonna vote for Darrell.
Joe?
Joe,
Mike?
Darrell.
And Joe.
Okay, 4-3, Darrell is our budget OEM chair. Okay, Holland Navarre Water System check signers. Current check signers are Joe Campbell, Mark Miller, Bill Thiel, and Clinton Wells.
I make a motion that we continue with our current check signers. I didn't hear that.
Motion to continue with the current check signers.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second.
And I-
Hang on 1 second. Do we need to,
And we seconded for discussion, right?
Yep, we have a motion and a second.
are we gonna have to come back and approve the new CEO?
We are.
That's why I'm fixing to try and fix this.
Go ahead.
So, I believe Joe is a check signer because he is the CEO at this point. So,
And board president.
and board president, okay. So, maybe we continue with him until we get the new CEO, because we're gonna have, or, we're gonna have a gap before we get to, we're gonna have to sign checks.
Can we do a separate motion to go ahead and add the CEO as a check signer once the CEO's on board, or?
Okay.
I would
You
just
know-
wait till he's here. I would recommend wait till he's here. Just never know what
Is
might
there-
happen between
is
now and
there-
then.
We're not
Is
gonna
there-
meet before February.
Board action with that
Is there,
Board
is there
action
a
of that
limit
meeting.
on the number you can have of check signers?
No, but you.
Is there a limit on the number of check signers you can have?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
I'll just say, I'm not looking forward, and I'm sure Emerald probably isn't, into having to redo check signing cards a couple of weeks from now.
Yeah.
Well, we can add the CEO though. when he
It takes
comes
that
up.
long to get them from the bank and get them.
We can add the
Well, that's
CEO.
gonna have to be done once we have a new CEO anyway.
Yes. that's
So
right.
I'm in favor of Darrell's motion to keep the current check signers.
And
Any
it's
other
been seconded.
discussion on that motion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Nays or abstentions? Motion carries. Okay. And we're gonna wait to add the CEO when he's on board and do that as a board action without a meeting? Is that the intent of the board?
I think they mentioned that, I would be good with that.
Okay, all right, so no further action on that item. Club at Hidden Creek check signers. Current check signers are Joe Campbell, Bill Thiel, and Clinton Wells.
Yeah, we just skip Messi.
Yeah, we skipped Messi.
Messy check signers, sorry about that. Current check signers are Phil Phillips, Joe Campbell, Dale Long, Bill Thiel, and Darrell Lynchard.
I know David's the new board member on Messi, but can we also continue these check signers until the new CEO gets here, so we won't have to fill out cards twice?
I'd definitely be okay with that.
And then we can remove me and add David, and then add the new CEO, removing Joe.
So is that your motion?
Yes.
Okay. Second?
I'll second.
What's the motion again?
To continue with the current check signers, for Messi until such time as the new CEO, comes in, then we will change all the check signers to, we'll remove myself and Joe Campbell and add David and the new CEO.
Okay, I don't understand why we couldn't remove, it seems like 4 would be enough for now, and if we're gonna remove you anyway, if you, why don't we remove you now and then just add Mr. Crumble?
I think that the idea was to not have to fill out cards again twice.
I think the motion is to do it, but to wait until
All right.
the new CEO's on board before we do the
Okay.
check signing cards. Is that
Yeah.
correct?
That's right.
Okay. All in favor of removing Darrell Lynchard and replacing him with David Crumbly once we have a new CEO in position, say aye.
Aye.
And that wasn't, and to also remove Joe and add the new CEO once he's. in
Oh, add the
position.
new CEO.
Yeah,
Okay, you're
to remove Joe.
correct.
As a
So
check signer.
that was added to that motion, and
Mhm.
everyone's still an aye?
Yep.
Okay, everyone's
Yes.
still an aye.
Yes.
All right. Club at Hidden Creek, check signers. Current check signers are Joe Campbell, Bill Thiel, and Clinton Wells. I think it probably should be the new Club at Hidden Creek representatives, which are Mike and Darrell.
I make a motion that we remove Joe and Bill from the check signers and add myself and Mike Matthews.
I'll second for discussion, but why are we doing it differently? Why are we not waiting for the CEO to come here and then we're gonna do it all at once?
We can.
Funny how that is.
So, do you want to amend the motion that will take place once we have a new CEO?
Mm-hmm. Yes, and that will take place once we
Table
have a
at
new
the
CEO.
February meeting?
I think we probably should do it as soon as he gets here. He's gonna be signing checks rather quickly.
And that way staff can take care of all of this for all the accounts all at once, right?
That's right.
Us, splitting it up.
Mhm.
Any other discussion on this?
So you're leaving it as is for now?
What's that?
You're leaving it as is for now.
As
Yes.
is for now, but once the new CEO is on board, it'll be Mike, Daryl,
And the CEO.
and the
But that
CEO.
will take another.
Well, Clinton is still on there.
That will take a separate meeting to make that
Mm-hmm.
happen.
The big issue for staff is as they move these cards, the financial institutions don't necessarily swap it out, so then staff has one person to go to. So I just want to make it so the staff has more than one person to sign. Because when the first transition before, Clinton was signing everything, and that's all he did. He didn't go anywhere else and didn't do his real job, so.
So we'll have 4 check signers, Mike, Daryl, CEO, and Clinton? You okay with that? Or do you want
Say that one more time? Daryl, the CEO.
Mike and Daryl, who are the 2 board members
Yeah.
on the operating, and then the CEO and Clinton
Okay.
as being
Yeah.
on there.
That's fine.
Okay. Any other discussion? All in favor of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Nays or abstentions? Motion carries.
Can you restate the motion just one more time, please?
The motion, well, do you want to restate it, or do you want me to?
No, I want you to, because
Okay. All right, the motion was to make, to replace Joe Campbell and Bill Thiel with Mike Matthews and Darrell Lynchard, but do that once we have a new CEO in place. Keep Clinton Wells and the new CEO, so we'll have a total of 4 check signers.
Okay. I just wanted it so that they could get it straight. I didn't think. they-
Okay, no, that's fine. All right, next item up, Sunbiz update. We need to update officers and directors for.
Did we vote on that?
What's that?
Yes, you did.
Oh,
You
okay.
voted
All
before
right.
We
I.
voted, we just
You voted
clarified.
before I
No,
asked
okay,
the
we
motion
just
to be
clarified it after the
clarified.
fact.
That's
I didn't
all.
vote on it the first time, so.
Are you an aye?
No, I'm for it.
Okay. All right, Sunbiz update. We need to update officers and directors for High Navarre Water System, the club at Hidden Creek, and Messy, and we will update those with everyone who we have today voted into those positions. Do we have a motion to that effect?
Emily, you had a question about who should do that, or was that a question about the registered agents?
No question, if it's gonna be as is, no question.
Okay.
I'll make a motion.
Motion to update officers and directors for High Navarre Water, Club at Hidden Creek,
I'll
and Messy.
second.
We have a second. Any further discussion on that? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Nays or abstentions? Motion carries. All righty, that's the last item on our agenda. We're up to member forum.
Well, I do have a question. So I believe that makes you CEO until the new CEO gets, correct?
I move to just leave it as is
No,
until,
sir.
leave Joe as the CEO until second, we're talking 2 weeks.
No, thank you. The CEO is the president.
No.
That's
So-
the way we've
No.
always done it.
Make a
The
motion,
C-
Daryl. Make a motion.
I make a motion, we follow the guidelines, and Mark, as president, becomes acting CEO.
No, that wasn't my opinion.
That was my motion.
Okay.
Do we have a second? Motion dies for lack of a second.
I make a motion, we leave it as is until the new CEO takes over.
You don't need to.
We don't need to, okay. All right,
Okay.
Number 4?
We're up to member four. Do we have a list?
Do we need it? Oh, yeah,
How did I do that?
grab that. Table for it.
Go ahead, Ms. Reynolds.
Am I on the list?
You are. You're the only one on the list. We'll give you more than 4 minutes today.
Carmen Reynolds, can you hear me? Can you hear me? The microphone, I didn't have it on the last time. Carmen Reynolds, Navarre. I wanted to congratulate the newest members of this board, Mr. Crumley and Mr. Matthews, and preliminary indications look as though there is some very definite synergy here. And I also wanted to relay to you all that there are still residents out there that are very intent about seeing our water system succeed. So thank you very much, and congratulations to the newest members of the Holly Navarre Water System Board of Directors. Thank you.
Thank you, Carmen.
Thank you, Carmen.
Thank you, Carmen.
Mike?
Yeah. At this time, I would like to announce that we have a signed contract with a new CEO, and that CEO is Jeff Krigler, and he has experience with the Panama City utilities as well as ECUA. And he will be starting right after the 1st of February, February 2nd. It will be his first day on the job. So we welcome Jeff to the new position, and we're excited and looking forward to this new chapter in Holly Navarre Water Systems leadership. Any other comments?
Motion to